Good morning again, members of the board. The times they are changing. This song, recently featured in the hit movie A Complete Unknown, appropriately sums up the collective work environment at this moment. Many of our members are facing uncertainty due to the state of flux in the airline industry. Change comes in many forms. At Mesa, it's the recently announced merger with Republic. At Air Wisconsin, has ceased all scheduled flying since its contract with American Airlines was canceled and has shifted its focus to charter and essential service operations. My own carrier, Spirit, emerged from bankruptcy last month, and all our pilot groups are watching intently to see how the international tariffs announced in April and changes in the industry will impact the busy summer travel season. When faced with this kind of instability, we know from our almost 95 years of experience that it is best to take a back-to-basics approach. For ALPA, its membership, that means allocating greater attention, resources, independence to our individual pilot groups to help them do the work they need to do. We're retooling our national committees to ensure they're in the best position to offer guidance and support. We're exploring ways to reinforce and strengthen our association's infrastructure, and most of all, we've placed a renewed emphasis on addressing member needs. Whether we're talking about mergers, bankruptcies, forced downgrades, and furloughs, or the first fatal U.S. passenger airline accident in 16 years, one thing remains certain: we're stronger together. When we pool our resources, knowledge, and expertise and stand together to provide a unified front, we exponentially strengthen our position as the largest airline pilots union in the world and the voice of our profession. This morning, I'm going to talk about how we're leveraging our assets to better address the needs of our members, particularly those in the crosshairs of this industry change. But first, let's take a quick look at our union's demographics. Since we last met, the Sunwing pilots have joined our organization through the WestJet merger, and I want to welcome Captain Mark Taylor from the group, who is with us today. As of May 1st, 2025, ALPA represents 79,674 pilots at 42 airlines. In terms of trends, we've witnessed enormous growth. ALPA is as big as it is ever. We represent pilots from 21 airlines in the United States and 21 more in Canada. In the last 8 years alone, the pilots of 17 different Canadian airlines have joined ALPA, and we now represent 95% of the airline pilot population there. ALPA has experienced a notable shift, with membership trending significantly younger. Gone are the days of baby boomers dominating the union. A bar chart in the back of the January-February issue of Airline Pilot highlights the new association makeup, indicating that 82% all current members are either Generation X, born between 1965 and 1980, or Gen Y, born between 1981 and 1996. The two account for approximately 60,000 members. More than 11,000 pilots were hired at the ALPA carriers during 2023. This had an enormous effect on our ranks at major airlines. For example, approximately 60% of the pilot group currently at United was hired after the United Continental merger, and approximately 40% was hired post-pandemic. At Delta, approximately 70% of the pilot group was hired after Delta's merger with Northwest, and 40% was hired post-COVID. Keep in mind, these are ballpark estimations. With a younger membership and lots of new faces, ALPA confronts new opportunities. This is a chance to revisit the way our association onboards its newest members, adapting to how pilots learn and communicate, and considering how our previous process can be adjusted. In the past, we produced 20-page documents. We now compete for their attention with a host of other information networks, and our efforts to engage them require careful consideration. In addition to making decisions about content, communication channels, and timing, it means evaluating how we prepare our elected reps to be effective leaders. It means exploring how we can better preserve institutional knowledge, for instance, when seasoned volunteers step down, transition to new airlines, or retire. I want to welcome Hawaiian First Officer Tim Kirschbaum, our newest membership chair, who is coordinating ALPA's latest efforts to onboard our new members. He and his team are working to ensure new hires receive a proper introduction to the union in a variety of formats, regular engagement with ALPA, and a feedback loop so we can gather and share information. This approach requires considered coordination with our MECs to make certain they have the tools and support they need to be effective. With help from our National Resource Coordinator, Jade Shuey and Deborah Captain, we're employing a mentor program tailored specifically for new hires, Cooper, a mentoring software application, which among other functions allows us to track leadership and committee experience at the previous ALPA carriers of our new hires. Off-the-shelf content MECs can use in educational campaigns, creating routine contact with new hires during their probationary periods. E-learning modules hosted through ALPA Academy, where our newest pilots can learn about ALPA's history, structure, code of ethics, as well as the basics, like how to use the ALPA contract, and union resources to find answers, and resource guides, which put new hire FAQs in one location. In implementing these measures, we want to reinforce the notion that ALPA is pilots serving pilots and that we need participation through our ranks. As early context, new hire mentors will help convey the spirit of volunteerism and the importance of giving back to our organization. We're taking these measures with the goal of increasing pilot engagement, generating a larger volunteer base, and safeguarding against the loss of experience in existing leadership and committee ranks. As ALPA pilot leaders, we need to remember that, thankfully, a significant percentage of our membership doesn't know what to expect during an economic downturn. Many of them know high wages, base changes whenever they want them, and fast upgrades. This is a great opportunity to highlight the value of union representation and the many protections and resources we provide. And to this end, the membership committee with the professional development group has been revamping ALPA's furlough pilot support program. We've updated our furlough website with checklists furlough pilots will need, information about career coaching and job fair access, details about filing for unemployment insurance, and access to peer support networks. Plus, there are new videos and podcasts featuring conversations on resources and support from ALPA. Most recently, we've added mentorship component to make sure we can maintain contact with affected pilots throughout their furlough period, and I'm happy to report that more than 200 pilots have volunteered to help. This effort is being coordinated by Jade and Envoy Captain Nate Smith, giving special attention to the pilots of Air Wisconsin, Spirit, Mesa, and IARO. A survey was distributed in April to IARO furloughees asking for an update on their employment status, and additional surveys are planned for the Spirit and Mesa pilots. We continue to onboard new pilot leaders with the Leadership Training Conference, which was most recently held February 4th through the 6th. More than 90 local council reps from 31 ALPA pilot groups participated. As I mentioned, we're directing more resources and granting greater level of authority to frontline reps to make decisions. One of the new tools they will have access to is a specialized dashboard to keep track of their current volunteer base and the equipment and resources assigned to these members. Member improvements include a major overhauling of our website. This effort can be seen in the works for more than 2 years, and we anticipate that it will be finalized sometime this summer. We've taken the approach that the ALPA website is more than just our internet site. It's an opportunity to better communicate to our members and the public exactly who we are and the priorities and values we represent. The new ALPA webpage have a different look and feel. We've placed a new emphasis on features like the member resource page, making it more comprehensive with a greater focus on the kinds of services our members are looking for. We want to make sure they understand the value of the association and what they get for their dues dollars. We also recently updated the ALPA app. You and your pilots can now customize the home screen, moving whatever features you use most to wherever you like for easier access. This latest update also enhances push notification capabilities. I've mentioned several professional development group improvements to better serve our members, but I also want to acknowledge what we're doing for the next generation. We continue to participate in industry events and trade shows where we can interact with potential future ALPA members. And since we last convened, we've held 2 Project Takeoff events. For those unfamiliar, Project Takeoff is a public outreach initiative designed to spark interest in the profession by setting up airline pilot zones at airports and other venues. In addition to connecting prospective airline pilots with current ones, we offer opportunities to fly Redbird J Velocity flight simulators and coordinate corresponding targeted social media campaigns. Plus, as a reminder that ALPA will be at this year's EEA AirVenture, promoting the profession to those interested in becoming airline pilots. For anyone who has previously attended, you know Oshkosh is a target-rich environment for the kind of activity. And speaking of future airline pilots, Lynn University in Boca Raton, Florida recently joined ALPA's lineup of ACE clubs. Mount Royal University became the first ACE club in Canada and 16th overall. Plus, we continue to make inroads with other colleges and universities offering aviation degrees. I also want to take the opportunity to welcome our new Diversity, Equity, Belonging, and Inclusion Committee officers. FedEx First Officer Hunter Chumley, who isn't with us today, is our new chair, and United Captain Alex Goburn is the new vice chair. ALPA cannot function without the help of our many pilot volunteers. As this year, we want to partner with you to gather information about all the pilots who do ALPA work. We'd like to properly thank the thousands of members who volunteer their time and talents to participate in local, MEC, and national committee structures and other association activities. We're early in the process of developing a volunteer recognition program, and we'll be reaching out to you soon with more information. Another important ALPA resource for our members is Pilots for Pilots, which offers financial assistance to ALPA members and their dependents to cover immediate extraordinary expenses that follow widespread catastrophic events. Last year, P4P had one of the busiest years on record, issuing more than $300,000 in grant money. Please keep in mind that P4P is a member-funded fund. Encourage your members to make donations and to use P4P whenever they need it. It's been said that calm is not the reward for weathering the storm, it's the proof that you did. Those of us who have been here and while understand that the industry is cyclical, accordingly, ALPA continues to hope for the best, but prepares for the eventualities of unforeseen challenges and obstacles. Our union always has its organizational eye on the horizon. As part of the current effort, the union is introducing new programs and bolstering our infrastructure with special attention given to our members and individual pilot groups. During times like these, pilots lead. By the very nature of our work, we are at the epicenter of the airline industry and can see and react to what's happening. And because we've flown this route before, we marshal our resources to support our own through the same difficulties many of us have experienced in the past. Thanks for your attention this morning. If you have any questions on my presentation, feel free to catch me during a break or sometime during the next couple days. Thank you.